Are you looking to start a fashion blog? Well, if that's the case, then you've come to the right place because today I'm going to be walking you through all of the steps you need to take to create a fashion blog from scratch. So by the end of this video, you should have a fashion blog live on the internet and you'll be ready to start publishing content. But before I walk you through that live demo, I just want to quickly run you through the process of building a fashion blog so you understand exactly what you're going to need to do to get this off the ground. And before I begin, I just want to quickly introduce myself, just to let you know that I do actually own multiple different blogs and websites, and so that you get an understanding of why I'm producing this video and why I feel I'm qualified to be recording it. So these are just 3 different sites I have. I've got a portfolio of over 10, but this is just showing you the kind of traffic that I'm generating. I do actually own a site in the fashion niche as well. I'm not going to introduce it to you because I want to keep it kind of private for competition reasons. But as you can see here, I've actually got over 3.5 million viewers in 2022 from 3 websites alone. So I just thought I'd introduce myself as someone who's actively in the field building websites and blogs. Now, when it comes to building your fashion blog, the first step that you need to take is you need to decide on your niche. So what your niche is essentially your topic or an area of focus for your blog. So you can do this in various different ways. You could have a blog that focuses primarily on reviewing products. Perhaps you want to offer some kind of tutorial. Maybe it's like how to choose different fashion items, how to create your own fashion items or styles. Or you could offer recommendations and advice. And when it comes to potential niches, so if you really want to hone down on areas or kind of build a community for your audience who can kind of know exactly what to expect from your content, you could look at things like affordable fashion, sustainable fashion. You could look at new fashion trends. You could look at vintage fashion, or maybe even vegan friendly fashion. You know, you could have your blog on one of these topics, or perhaps even all 5, or maybe even more. But it's a good idea to start with one of them and build out from there. Next, you need to decide on your domain name. So that is essentially the www dot and then the name of your blog. It's how people will find you on the internet, and it's essentially the core of your brand. So I recommend choosing a domain that is short, is memorable, and as I've kind of alluded to there, is brandable as well. It's a great idea to include your niche in that name so that not only do your visitors understand exactly who you are and what you do, but it also gives Google and the other search engines an idea of what your site's all about. Now, it's preferable to have a .com domain. You can have other extensions as well, but .com is great for a global audience. And you want a domain that's not going to kind of be too narrow so that you've got plenty of room to expand your content and it all kind of makes sense. So put some example domains at the bottom here. They're unlikely to be available at the time of recording. So, you know, if you plug this in to try and register one, you might not be able to get it, but it's just giving you an idea of how you can kind of domains you could kind of register and how you pull in your niche into them. So we've got fashiononabudget.com, fashion by Melanie, of course that could be your name.com if you want to put yourself as the front and center of your site, or veganfashiontips.com. That's just another example of these kind of things. Next, you need to get hosting. Now, I cannot stress enough how important hosting will be for your site and your overall success. Hosting is crucial for your website speed, which is so important for not only your visitors and customer experience, but also how the search engines are going to view your site and how likely they are to rank it. It's actually a ranking factor. So it's so important that you choose a good host. And my recommended hosting is wpx.net. There's a link down in the description below. If you click that, it's what we're going to be using in the demo shortly. And if you click that link, you'll get the best possible price. But yes, hosting is so important. I've actually used cheaper hosting in the past. I don't want to kind of mention any names, but the sites I used on those hosting providers just never took off. They were constantly down, and for that reason, Google didn't want to rank my content because they couldn't trust that my site would be live at the time that people were searching. So yeah, my sites never did well. I ended up migrating all of them to WPX, and I'll show you in the next slide proof that I've done that. So it's my hosting provider of choice. All my sites go through WPX now, and my sites have just improved in terms of ranking, and they load incredibly fast. I pass all the core web vitals, which is another Google ranking factor to consider, and how users experience your site. And yeah, WPX is just brilliant. They provide you with a CDN, also called the WPX Cloud, which ensures that your website will load as fast as it can, regardless of where your audience are visiting from, where they're based. You get free SSL certificates and DDoS protection, so you're protected from any hackers or anyone trying to access your site without permission. This is the best bit, is there's 24/7 instant live chat technical support. And when I say instant, you literally press start and someone is there ready to answer your question. And this is so important when you're building a new website, because you're likely to encounter technical issues or have questions that you need instant replies to. A lot of the cheaper hosts will set up support tickets, and they can take hours, if not days, for someone to respond. And you just don't have that time. You want to get these issues resolved quickly, and that's why WPX is so good. The plans enable you to create multiple sites. So, if you didn't just want to have one singular fashion blog, you wanted to have multiple, or you wanted to set up sites in different niches, then you can do that as well, and it's not going to cost you any more. There's also free malware detection and removal, so if it's detected at any point, it's going to be just taken care of. There's nothing you need to do, it's just going to happen, which is absolutely fantastic. If your site breaks or goes down, it's also going to be resolved for you. You don't need to get a lot of the cheap hosts as well. They'll charge you for this as a service, as an add-on, so not good at all. And also, there's backups done on a daily basis should you ever need to revert to a previous version. So if your site completely crashes, then you can quickly get back up and running. And also, it's trusted by some of the most successful online bloggers as well. So if it's good enough for them, it should be good enough for you. Here's that screenshot of my WPX. I'm on the professional plan, and you can see I've blurred out my domain names here, but you can see all of my sites in here. So yeah, I use it all the time, absolutely love it. And I'm going to be shortly walking you through how to build your site with it. It's very simple as well. It's very, very simple. Now, next on the process is the theme. So your theme is essentially how your site looks to your visitors. It's how your visitors navigate your site as well. It's very, very crucial for that. And yeah, it has a massive impact on branding, on SEO, and everything in between. So your theme is so, so important. You want to work with a theme that's user-friendly, takes the least amount of time to set up, but also gives you the most amount of customization options to make sure your website stands out. So the recommended theme, the one I use across all my 10 sites, is GeneratePress. There is a free version, and you can use that with, you can get most of what you need from it. In fact, most people only ever use the free version. I've got the paid version. I would recommend that. And that's purely because you get access to the DFY site, done for you sites. And what I mean by that is you can import a pre-built site that looks terrific, is ideal for a fashion blog, without you having to sit there and build it out manually. So that's really, really useful. You can save hours and hours of time. You just need to plug in your website's details, or your brand's details, I should say, and your website will be updated. So I really, really recommend that. And I'm going to introduce you to my recommendation as well in the next slide. But yeah, GeneratePress is very quick loading. It's fully customizable, as I've said. It's SEO friendly. It's just really, really good. And it's also got a fantastic community behind it. And there's a support forum. So yeah, it's got all of the support you'll ever need in documentation should you ever want to really delve into the technical aspects of it. Now, this is one of the done for you site imports that you can get from the premium GeneratePress theme. It just looks absolutely terrific. I'm going to be exploring it further in the video, so do stick around for that. But yeah, it's brilliant for fashion blog. You can even see in the center there on the menu, it's got a fashion section, but it just looks terrific. You've got everything set up. You've got a lead capture form right at the front on your homepage. But yeah, it's just really, really brilliant. So this is probably the quickest way that you can get started with a fashion blog, is just by importing this and building out your site from there. Then once you've got your theme, you've got your hosting, you've got your domain, you've got your theme, it's then just about building out your blog. So it's creating the contact us page, the about us page, privacy policy, disclosure, etc. Those key core pages that every website needs. You then just need to add your logo and your branding. You want to customize colors. You want to add and edit menus. You want to categorize your content. Those things here. But this is far beyond the scope of this video. But I'm just explaining to you this is one thing you will need to do once your blog is in place. And the same thing can be said for content. So you're going to want to publish content, lots of it, and you're going to want to focus on niche related topics. So anything related to the niche that you go after. It goes without saying really, but you want to opt for low competition keywords so that you can rank in Google and get the traffic you are looking for. And you want to commit to a regular publishing frequency. Not really for any other benefit, but then to make sure that you have sufficient content to get the traffic you are looking for. Now, of course, there's a lot more to it than just these 3 bullet points, but these are the kind of core concepts that I just wanted to mention. But yeah, publishing content, there's plenty you can delve into online once your site is up and running. And that's what I'm going to look at now. I'm going to be walking you through a demo, step by step, how to go from no website to a website live on the internet. So let's now look at how you can do this with WPX. So click that link in the description and you can follow along in real time. So once you click the link in the description, it's going to take you over to WPX and you're going to be greeted with this screen here. So all you need to do is click View Plans and it's going to show you this screen. Now, there is the ability to pay for your plan on a monthly basis or a yearly basis. Now, if you opt for yearly, you're going to get some savings, particularly 2 months of hosting free. So I would really recommend that, particularly if you're serious about your beauty blog. Otherwise, you can pay for it monthly, and that's what we're going to be doing in this video here today. Also, you've got different plans and options available. We're going to go for the business, and that should suffice if you're looking to just build a beauty blog. In fact, you can have up to 5 websites, so you could actually create another 4 more if you wanted, and you get so much here that's more than enough to support these 5 websites and really make sure they're really, really good performance. But if you did want to build a portfolio, then that's where you'd opt for one of these, and you can upgrade at any time. So let's move ahead with the business plan. That's what I would recommend. Now, at this point, you have the ability to connect a domain if you already own it, or you can register a new one. So what I did here is we're going to register a new domain. That's, if you're on this video, chances are you are going to need to do that as well. So click the second tab and then search for your domain name. So I'm putting in the name of my YouTube channel here. That's what we're going to build. But this is where you would enter things like skincarecentral.com as an example, or the various other ones that you may have in mind. Now, you might need to run a few different searches here. Your domain may not be available and you may need to use a different extension. I would recommend .com, as I've been saying throughout this video, because that's going to give you the most benefit in terms of SEO and just website traffic and visitors understanding you. But you could use any of these other as well, and it may be that you get a domain name that you want with a different extension, so do bear that in mind. But once you've chosen it, click search, or once you've entered it I should say, and it will say whether it's available or not. And as you can just see here, this pop-up, this is why I love WPX. Hi, can I help you set things up? So I could talk to Daniel straight away, the support agent, and we could get him to help us build your website, get everything set up from a technical perspective, and they'll do it for you. That's absolutely brilliant. You don't get that with many hosts. So I just thought I'd mention that because that's just popped up, and that will happen when you head over to WPX as well. So if you wanted to do that, you could always do that. But I'm going to show you how to do it myself, so I've just minimized that. So we've got this selected. I'm going to press continue. And at this stage, all you need to do is select your hosting location. Now, it doesn't actually matter that much, but what I tend to do is pick the one where you're looking to get the most of your audience from. So for the most part, I would select USA, as you're more likely to get US traffic. The only exception would be if you're looking to target visitors in different locations, such as Europe or Australia. But as I say, for the most part, just select USA. You can change this, and one of the benefits of WPX is it will alternate between the data centers depending on where your traffic's coming from anyway. So it's actually not that important. So at this point, I'm actually going to just quickly sign up, and I'm going to obviously blank my screen. Actually, I'm going to stop recording the video and then we'll come back once I've done this, just to protect my financial information. So I hit checkout, and as you can see, it's taken us to this screen saying that I have an unpaid invoice. So all we need to do basically is pay for that invoice, and that will activate our plan. Now, what you need to do to pay for your invoice is just head over to your email, the one that you use during sign up, and you will notice that you'll have an invoice that's been created and it will come directly from WPX. The first email will just talk about the order, what you're looking to, what you've put through, and the second one will be the invoice itself. And all you need to do is, if you follow the link, you can pay the invoice directly in WPX. So we'll click that and you'll see it takes us to this screen here. Now you'll see the status is unpaid, and you basically just click on the invoice and it's going to show you the invoice, exactly what you've got. Now at this point you just pay via the payment option, credit card or PayPal. I'm going to do PayPal. I'm just going to pause this video while I do that. Once paid, you will also receive an email from WPX mentioning that you've paid your invoice. You can check in your client area all the invoices that you've had and what have been paid. But if we go back to our client area, so by the way, to sign into your client area, you use the email address that you provided during sign up. You can always access your hosting account from there. You need to wait for the status to become active, and you will get another email from WPX when you're ready to start building your website. It happens within minutes. It's literally 2 minutes since we signed up. So we'll get the first email saying that your account has been activated, and you'll get a second one mentioning that your domain has been registered. So you now own that domain and you're ready to get started. So you head back into the client area and you can see it's active and we can manage our service. So we can start building our website. Now, if you hover over My Services at the top and click WordPress Hosting, then click Manage Service. Now what we need to do is click Manage Websites and you'll see our domain name listed. Next, you need to click Manage WP. Again, if you've got any questions at any point, you can always talk to support and they will walk you through it or do it for you as well, which is also fantastic. So we need to wait for this to load. It takes a couple of minutes usually. And then it will come up with this message. So it seems you don't have any existing WordPress installations under this domain. You can go ahead and install WordPress by clicking on the link below. So literally click this. And at this point, you just want to enter the following information. So using database, leave that as is. Your admin email will be the email address that you want associated with your WordPress installation. So I'd like to do this as the email that I signed up with WPX. Your username, then that's what you're going to use to log into your website. So you want to do this as something quite memorable, and you may even want to do it as something a little bit obscure so that nobody can kind of try and log into your website. So I'm actually going to blur this when it comes to showing this part. Yeah, I've just added an admin username. This is the password to get into your website. Obviously needs to be very memorable, and that, yeah, you need this to be, you don't want to forget this because it will essentially mean you get locked out of your website. And as you can see here, for some reason mine don't match. I must have put those in wrong. So let me just try doing that again. So there we go, they've matched, or you could generate one as well. Now you have a couple of options. You can install this Total Cache plugin for best performance. We might as well. And then all you need to do is click Install WordPress. And again, you'll get this little loading icon. And you essentially are waiting for WPX to build your website. And it's from here that we can start logging in to the back end of our website and start building it out. So we're actually nearing the end of the demo, which is fantastic. Now, once that process finishes, you will be greeted with this message. And it basically says that WordPress has been installed on your domain and your entire hosting plan has been set up. So just close this off. Now we're ready to log in to our WordPress website. So to do that, you just click on the domain name and it's going to open in a new tab and it's going to actually take you to your website that we've just created. And as you'll see here, it's completely blank and it's just got the default theme on here. So what we just need to do is if we put -wp admin, So you can see this here is what I've put in here, and press enter. We then need to enter the login credentials that we set up during our installation. So I'm just going to enter those now. And this has logged us into the back end of our new website. So it is from here that we will customize our website and we'll build it out. And that is where essentially we're going to do all our customizations, add our content, etc. The final thing we need to do in WPX itself is, as you can see here, the SSL hasn't been set up. So we are not on the secure version of the website. You might have noticed that at the top. So to do that, just simply log back into WPX, into your admin area. And where we went to manage websites before, we just need to click on this SSL and click Install Free Certificate. Click Install and press Yes. And you'll get this notification in the top right when it's been installed, and you'll also see the padlock next to the website. And if we go back to our website, and I'm going to hit refresh. Now, one thing we need to do to confirm the SSL is I'm going to press add new to the plugins in the plugin section, and I'm going to add a plugin called Really Simple SSL. We're going to install this and we're going to activate it. And here, let's just press activate SSL. And what it will do is it will ask you to log in again, because it kicks you out to make sure that you're logging into the new SSL secure version. So here you just want to run through these remaining tasks. This one we want to click fix, and we want to do select 301 HTA access, redirect, hit save and continue. Settings saved. Now if we visit our website, so that should be set up. If I can spell it correctly, I'll put our domain in the top, and you'll notice the padlock. So we are on the secure version of our website. Here you just want to run through these remaining tasks. This one we want to click fix, and we want to do select 301 HTA access, redirect, hit save and continue. Settings saved. Now if we visit our website, so that should be set up. If I can spell it correctly, I'll put our domain in the top, and you'll notice the padlock. So we are on the secure version of our website. So this is the start of your brand new fashion blog. And if you've made it this far, you actually have a website live on the internet, and all you need to now do is just go through those remaining steps of the process to make your fashion blog the success that you are looking for. So you need to build out your blog and you need to publish content. And I'm just going to quickly walk you through some of the basics of building out your blog to take it from, you know, a blank blog to something that you are going to want to get traffic and visitors to. So the first thing I'd recommend is adding a theme. We've got the default theme set up on the site. It looks very, very basic, has nothing to do with fashion. So if I click appearance and themes, you can see we've got the 2023 theme activated. Three different themes, that's a bit of a tongue twister, are installed by default. But what you can do is if you click add new, it's going to take you to the WordPress library of, well, actually it's loading. It's going to take you to the WordPress library of themes, and most of these are free, and you can use them right out of the box and you can build your website. And some of these will be great for a kind of fashion store, so fashion blog I should say, sorry. But the one I recommend, and as I've kind of mentioned so far, is GeneratePress. So if you can either search for it at the top or scroll down to the third row, and this is a good sign really. It kind of suggests how how popular it is. Is that it's one of the first themes recommended, and that says a lot. WordPress wouldn't push it if it wasn't that great. But yeah, if you click install here, this is going to install the free version on your website, and then you click activate. It is going to make it the activated theme. From here, you can always get the pro version, and I'll drop a link in the description below for you to go and get that if you wanted. But as I say, and that will enable you to import the demo theme or the recommended Averly theme, and I'm going to walk you through that shortly. But if you didn't want to do that, then from here you could simply go into customize and you could start building out your website using the free version of the theme. So as you can see here, it's updated, and you would simply run through each of these on the left hand side, starting with your site identity. This is basically your domain or your brand. So you could put in something like fashion by Melanie. Let's just say that's what we went for in the end. You get the idea. So you could put that in at the top. You could put your logo in here. You can change your site icon, which is obviously this one that appears up here. And then you can just run through the layout. So you can change whether you want a container or no container. You can change the heading, make this bigger, smaller, etc. You can change the navigation. You can change the sidebars and the footer. You can change all of the colors of your website, whether it's the primary navigation, the text, the buttons, etc. You can change the typography, so that's all of the different fonts, and you can there's lots you can do here, all of the widgets. So you can change most of your website from this particular page. I'm not going to save it. From there, you can install plugins. So actually, before I show you the plugins, let's just quickly walk through this Averly theme. So here it is, basically the preview of the site. So if I just kind of scroll down, you can see, so we've got this kind of nice central area to collect email addresses from your visitors, which is great for email marketing. You've got a section on latest articles. You've got a kind of preview of who the author is of this website, which is fantastic for not only your visitors, but for Google to understand who you are. You've got this stay connected bit, and you've got this menu at the bottom. If I click on one of the articles, you can see the featured image at the top, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. You've got this quote area, you've got the categories. It just looks really, really cool. It'd be brilliant for a fashion blog. What have I done here? I've completely lost it. Let's search this again. What have I done here? Here we go. It's called this one, Averly. Let me just quickly search that. Sorry about that. But it's absolutely brilliant. You've got a whole fashion section. So I'm just going to show you the kind of menu items and just kind of the different layouts that you can have. But yeah, if you download this, if you get the premium version of the GeneratePress theme, then you can literally install this. And then all you will need to do is just go into that customize and just update things. So you would just change the logo here. You could change the menu item, you could change the colors if you wanted, and then when you start populating your content or adding your content to your site, it's going to start appearing here, which is absolutely brilliant. So I just wanted to show you that. That's how you kind of get the premium theme of GeneratePress, and what I'd recommend if you want to just build your fashion blog quickly and so that it looks and performs really, really well. The other thing you can do is install plugins. So these add additional functionality to your WordPress site. If you click add new, it's going to take you to the plugin library. There's so many different plugins, so I'd recommend exploring this. Some I'd recommend off the bat would be your likes of Yoast or Rank Math, and that will help you in terms of SEO. It will help you rank in Google, and it'll help ensure that you kind of optimize your site and give it the best chance of ranking. There's also plenty of others from data protection if you ever needed it, but it's unlikely with WPX. All the way through to speed and caching plugins. If you go into Google and just type in best plugins for fashion blog or best plugins for WordPress, you'll get lists and you'll get different articles, so you can research that further. The next thing I want to show you is how you can add content, and it's all done from posts. So all you need to do is click add new. Obviously all posts is a catalogue of everything that you've published so far or anything you've got in draft. And here you just simply enter your title, you enter your content here, and then on the right hand side you just update the various different elements. So you can change the author, change the categories, add featured images, etc. Once you add your SEO plugin, that's when you can start adding things like keywords, and it will all pop up on here. Plus, if you add any other plugins, it will all become kind of possible through this interface here. There's lots more tutorials online of how to do this. I just wanted to briefly introduce you to it. And then lastly, pages. That's where you can start adding your important pages like your privacy policy, which is already set up by default. But you can also add things like contact us, etc. It works in very much the same way as a post, but this is just a good way of kind of keeping them separate for your core pages of your website, and then you can start adding these to your menu. So that's essentially how to build out your fashion blog, and a few quick tips on posting and publishing content too. So I hope this video was useful. If it was, please do hit the like button and do consider subscribing to my channel. If you are building out a travel blog, then there's going to be plenty of upcoming content that helps you and to take you from a new site all the way through to a successful site. So do consider subscribing. If you're yet to hit the links in the description below to start your website, then I would strongly recommend that you do that. The best thing that you can do for starting a fashion blog is, as the name suggests, to just get started. You can always learn a lot of this later, but just pull the trigger and get started building your website. So all that said, I hope you have an excellent day.